Welcome to Electrified. My name is Dylan Loomis, and this is today's episode of Tesla News. I'd like to kick things off by showing you two of the major headlines for Volkswagen's new ID.4 SUV, which is set to begin production in the next few weeks. With Tesla as the standard in the EV industry that any new electric vehicle will be compared to, Tesla is going to continually receive more free press. As more and more people begin shopping in the EV market, it will be nearly impossible for them not to stumble across Tesla content if they do any research online at all. I can tell you firsthand, if my dad, who is not computer savvy, uses the internet to research buying a car, I can promise you that most people out there are indeed doing the same. Add this to the list of another reason why Tesla does not yet need to spend any money on marketing. Touching briefly on the ID.4, Rolf Bronsdotter, head of the Volkswagen brand, said in a statement that the ID.4 allows the car maker to offer an EV in the world's largest growth segment, which we know to be the SUV market. He said the ID.4 will initially be built and sold in Europe and China, with US production slated to begin in 2022 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. In case you missed it, there was a great piece in Automotive News featuring Sandy Munro and Tesla in which he said, quote, "They've got a depth I just don't see anywhere else. I thought the Model 3 was 10 years ahead of the competition. Then we tore apart the Model Y, and we're pretty much convinced the Model Y is another 3 or 4 years ahead." End quote. Munro also said the introduction of Tesla's proprietary Octavalve makes the Model Y's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system different from anything he's ever seen in a car, and it looks more like something from the aerospace industry. I wonder why. The article was even more factual confirmation that Tesla is just destroying the game right now.
You know why? They don't have many three-point shooters like that! Like that!
And anyone on the planet planning an electric vehicle will have Tesla as the standard to compete with for years to come. Touching briefly on Tesla Energy, there is potential for a massive new project between Tesla and Neoen. If you're not familiar with Neoen, you can check out this episode. It was one of the first videos I made on the channel. If Tesla and Neoen do indeed work together on this new project, when completed, it would significantly dwarf the current biggest battery in the world, the Tesla Powerpack Farm, known as the Hornsdale Power Reserve. This was recently upgraded to a 150 megawatt or 194 megawatt hour system, which would be compared to this new project, which has a proposed initiative of 1,200 megawatts of wind energy, 600 megawatts of solar photovoltaic systems, and 900 megawatts or 1,800 megawatt hours of battery storage. Back to Tesla vehicles. If you are unaware, Tesla vehicles are indeed equipped with external speakers. The main function is to output a pedestrian warning sound, which has become required for electric vehicles in many markets due to the fact that they are so quiet at low speeds. And because we now know that Elon likes elevator music and jazz, be on the lookout for this.
Summer, how soup shook am I by your playlisting bleakness tonight?
You love it? It's snake jazz. My little brother got bit by a snake in outer space and killed it with a hubcap, and my grandpa had to scan its planet's culture for an anti-venom, and they found this. It's my jam.
Seriously, my new thing now is snake jazz.
Elon also confirmed on Twitter that auto lane changes on city streets are still on track for a release in the next couple of months. Yesterday, GM released some news on their roadmap for electrification in China. Most of this was boilerplate corporate speak, but it's no surprise GM will try to capitalize on the Chinese EV market after watching what Tesla has been able to do in such a short time. They said, quote, "In electrification, more than 40% of GM's new launches in China in the next 5 years will be electrified models. They'll all be manufactured in China, with almost all parts coming from local suppliers." End quote. Keep in mind that Tesla will be releasing 100% of their new launches in China as electrified models. I'll just leave this here. The last thing I wanted to take a moment discussing today is the most recent J.D. Power survey results that were released for their U.S. Technology Experience Index study, in which Tesla lost to Volvo. I think it's really important to break this down a bit to ensure we all have the proper context for these J.D. Power awards. Long story short, James David Power used to work for a marketing agency before starting J.D. Power. Fast forward to today, where J.D. Power sends out customer surveys, collects customer data, and then sells this data to the automakers. And yes, the automakers also pay J.D. Power large sums of money in order to use the J.D. Power name in their marketing material. One of the most well-known surveys is the IQS, or Initial Quality Survey. They report on PP100, or problems per 100 cars. A well-known issue here is that these surveys will give equal weight to an engine failure and someone not liking the amount of cup holders in the car. So a problem is not always going to be something actually wrong with a car. It takes into consideration the subjective opinions of owners and treats them equally. It should also be noted that Tesla does not actually allow J.D. Power to survey their customers. You can view this as Tesla attempting to conceal data or protecting their customers from being solicited, but more on this in a second. If you're wondering why seemingly every automaker in existence has a J.D. Power award, here's why.
In one breath. Small SUV, small premium SUV, small car, small premium car, compact SUV, compact premium SUV, compact premium car, mid-size premium car, mid-size sporty car, mid-size pickup, mid-size SUV, mid-size premium SUV, large light duty pickup, large heavy duty pickup, minivan, large SUV, large car, and large premium car.
Or take some advice from our real actor friend, Mark.
Is that why there's no Chevy owners here? Because their cars broke down? Nah, I'm just kidding, but not really. Didn't survey any mechanics, huh?
Wow. I never would have thought.
Yeah, that's because you have common sense.
I'm so impressed.
You're impressed because they made up an award and gave it to themselves? Your reliability survey is about as reliable as your cost. Not very.
And of course, if you still want to overweight the value of these awards, here's some quick Scotty Kilmer for you.
I always laugh when I see this J.D. Power stuff. If anybody knows, J.D. Powers is basically a giant advertising company. It's an advertising firm. It's a PR firm. Why would anybody take their slant on anything? Because they do what they get paid to do. It's just the stupidest thing on earth.
So, with the context set, here are the main takeaways for the most recent J.D. Power Technology Survey. The TXI Innovation Index measures how effectively each automotive brand brings these technologies to market, measured on a 1,000-point scale. The index combines the level of adoption of new technologies for each brand with the excellence in execution. The execution measurement examines how much owners like the technologies and how many problems they experience while using them. The report said, sights set on creative camera views. Owners think highly of technologies that provide an extra set of eyes to help them drive their vehicle. I can personally attest to this, as I used to drive a Honda Accord and my favorite feature was on the turn signal you could push in a button on the end of the stalk that would pull up a camera for your blind spot on the right side of the car, which I would sometimes leave on while driving. It was really nice. The report also noted giving the finger to interior gesture controls. Among luxury owners, interior gesture controls, technology that allows the user to control various features in the vehicle using hand gestures instead of touching anything, is the lowest rated technology by far across all satisfaction attributes. And one of the most important takeaways, especially for Tesla, many owners don't trust technologies necessary for automated driving. Active Driving Assistance, or ADAS, is designed so that the vehicle is able to perform functions like acceleration, braking and steering, while the driver remains engaged in the driving task. Some drivers mention the positive experience they have from using the system, lower stress, and arriving at their destination more refreshed, but this necessary step to achieve higher levels of automated driving is failing to earn the trust of most drivers who consider it to be annoying or distracting. This was the first time Tesla was profiled, as Tesla doesn't grant J.D. Power permission to survey its owners in 15 states where it's required. However, Tesla's score was calculated based on a sample of surveys from owners in the other 35 states. Although Tesla was not included in the official list, they would have fell in the number 2 slot in this study, so you can take this for what it's worth to you. That should wrap it up for today's episode of Tesla News. Please like the video if you did, consider subscribing for more Tesla content, and I will see you guys in the next episode.